If you are a man and you're not pulling, it's because you're not twinky enough. In this day and age, you need to be twink maxing. Look at me. I'm gay as hell. And it works. So.
Yeah, let me tell you, if every single man in America becomes this guy, we are going to die. Straight up. Like, we are going to cease to exist if every single man begins to twink max. And what's crazy to me is that people lack so much self-awareness that they still have not realized, even though it's been proven that TikTok is a Chinese psyop that has been developed by the Chinese weaken our youth in order to make America what I believe, and this is my theory, in order to make America easier to invade. I don't know if you know this, but the Chinese population like far exceeds the American population, and we have an abundance of natural resources. And so how would you make a country easier to invade? Well, you would make every single one of their citizens gay and feminine. That's literally what you would do. And that's what you see with these types of videos. And so what I'm going to do, because let's first explain why this is problematic and why, for one, this is just so bogus and so stupid. One, women are not going to like you if you're a gay looking twink like this guy. So, I mean, look at him. First off, his pale skin, his frail arms, his weak looking hands. I mean, do you think that this guy is contributing anything of value to society? And maybe he's good at his sales job. Maybe he's good at spreadsheets. Maybe he's a teacher or whatever. And teachers, most of them don't even contribute that much value either, I would argue. But how much food is this man producing for the world? How much electricity? How much power? How much, and by power, I mean like electrical power, not like power type of power, whatever, like feminine power or whatever. And so what I'm getting at is we've become a society where very few produce the commodities and essential things that we need, and then the vast majority of people are consumers. And so when you have people who are advocating positions like this, what they're doing is they are encouraging a society where the majority of people are consumers. But for example, I mean, I think he's eating cheese dip and pretzels. How did those things even get in front of him? Someone had to produce them. Someone had to harvest the natural resources, the wheat, the milk. They had to do manual labor and things just to get, I mean, and then you have to, the process of making the pretzels, and then the process of packing the pretzels, and the process of shipping the pretzels, and the process of stocking the pretzels. And so when you start succumbing to the indoctrination and the infiltration of our minds by the Chinese that are trying to make us softer and all gayer, what you're doing is you're putting society at a risk. And this is why I go on about these things, is because we don't need everyone to be gay in society. And what's really amazing to me is that these people lack so much self-awareness that they don't realize that them posting and adhering to this culture of like being soft and being emotional and being vulnerable, right? And that's great because we have the technology and we have the means and the abundance and the prosperity of resources where we can sit here and we can think about our feelings, right? But people don't realize that what we have is a very fragile system and nothing is guaranteed. Like people like this, I think they go to Walmart and they grab these pretzels off the shelf and they never once consider like, oh, you know, how do these pretzels get here? I think they just think that those things are always going to be there. That like there's just like a pretzel button in the wild and you press it and then pretzels fall out. And you know what I'm saying? I don't think these people are ever giving thought to the fact that their pretzels and their ability to go to the store and buy pretzels, that ability and that thing that they have as a result of our modern society, that could all be in jeopardy if they start posting and spreading all this gay and soft boy propaganda. Because what we need in the world is we don't need soft gay men. We need manly men like this guy that we see here, right? Like these guys who are doing the oil drilling, which is literally what allows us to run our entire economy, which allows us to have gasoline and oil to put into the trucks, into the trains, and the things that transport our food back and forth to the grocery stores that allow us to power our homes. And so this whole popular ideology that I see amongst young people where they're like, "Oh yeah, we need to be sensitive and we need to be gay." It's just bizarre to me how they don't realize how stupid, just from a natural biological standpoint, they sound and how how if this continues to be the popular ideology, it will be catastrophic for society. And this is why you have seen this revolution of conservative ideology from like Trump. This is why Trump won, because people are starting to realize this and understand that, look, for one, our economy is so inflated and we live in such a difficult time to live. The whole preaching of, we're going to bring back jobs and we're going to bring back the energy sector, that's appealing to people. Then two, this whole leftist, like super soft, everyone is gay thing is actually apocalyptic for society from just a purely realistic standpoint. If everyone starts becoming gay and feminine and no one is actually picking up the tools and the hammer and fixing things and growing things and building things, like, we're screwed. And so it's really amazing to me that, because you might think, oh, well, this is just one video, it's not a big deal. But no, it's not. It's a whole ideology. I mean, this video has 2.3 million views. And so what I'm getting at is, someone is so much self-awareness that they're not conscious enough in their mind to think beyond getting likes and views on TikTok, right? Because think about this. This 2.3 million view, I haven't gone through this creator's profile because I don't care to. I don't need to. I'm not going to waste my time, right? So the 2.3 million views, that might be the most views he ever gets on content. And so think about his impact on society, right? Because he could have chose to be like, you know what? Men, we need to be more manly because we need guys to drill for oil. We need plumbers. We need electricians. We need farm workers. We need the guys that are unloading the supplies off of trains. But instead, he was like, you know what? Just be gay like me. See how I have no muscle tone? This is what men. So his biggest impact on society for his life is making society worse. And you might be a soft leftist and you might think, well, he's, the feelings in men are toxic masculinity. Okay, but you know what? Toxic masculinity and masculinity are the things that have created all of the comforts that you have in life. They're the things that have created the air conditioning. They are the things that have created the televisions. They are the things that have created the houses, the apartments, the cars, the food, all the things. So yeah, no, I mean, when people, it's like people don't actually think about the impact that they're creating by forming these gay algorithms. And when it's like, dude, you are making, because think about all the guys who might see this and they're like, oh yeah, maybe I should just be gay. It's like, oh God, now we lost like 20 potential, plumbers or farmers or people that were going to make food for us. Now we have 20 more baristas. This is great. That's exactly what we needed. And let's just take a look too at the difference of like the impact that creators like this have versus actual people that contribute to society. So like, I mean, let's look. I have a screenshot here. You look at the video of this guy, it's 2.3 million views. Then you look at the videos of the people work on these oil rigs, and they all have less than 1 million views, right? And then the only one that has above 1 million views is the one of a girl who's talking about the time that she was the only woman on an oil rig and ended up getting pregnant. Isn't that insane? Like, the actual videos of guys doing hard work is like 3 to 4 times less than a girl talking about how she got pregnant on an offshore oil rig. Just amazing. And then I have some screenshots of these people talking about plumbers, right? Plumber TikTok. And I mean, only one of the videos, and these were from the top searches when I searched up plumbers, only one of the videos has 500,000 views. The others have 180,000 and 130,000. So you're seeing a video about a guy. This is why I'm saying it's a Chinese psyop that's designed to make our youth softer and slowly chip away at the structure and stability that we have within society. The guy talking about how men should be gay and look like twinks has 2.3 million views. And the videos of the plumbers have, 20 times less views. And then the one of the oil rig workers have 2 to 3 times less. So, I mean, just look at the impact. And then this is not like just a one-time phenomenon. I mean, this is what goes viral, these types of videos. I mean, let's get into this next clip just to analyze this whole gay epidemic or whatever we have going on. Let's get into it. Okay, first off, like, here comes the Crimson Chain. Okay, but seriously, this is just so ironic because first off, y'all stay safe out there. First off, if every single person in the world becomes your boyfriend, we're all gonna die. We're cooked because what is your boyfriend contributing? He's a pro-choice. I mean, I'm pro-choice, so I get that too. I think, yeah, like if you can't afford to have a baby, you shouldn't have it. So I'm with that. But then an LGBTQ plus ally, indigenous supporting political science student. So basically, he's a barista. Like that's and so like what are we doing? And it's just crazy because it's like these people have room temperature IQs, and you don't understand that like the ideology that you're subscribing to is inherent. Which you might see people who are the opposite of this toxic, but the ideology that you are subscribing to is inherently actually toxic and negative for society, because this whole promotion of these soft femboys that are LGBTQ plus allies and indigenous supporting whatever this it's all nonsense in a political science. So what is the guy going to do? He's going to be a journalist or something, or he's going to be a professor. Okay, that's great. How many kilowatts of energy has this guy helped provide in order to keep the power on for houses? And so it's this whole delusion, I think, of how the world works and how reality works that has been created by this abundance and prosperity, this abundance of resources and prosperity that we have here in America, which has made people, I think, so bored to the point where they have to find other issues that don't really exist, and they've really lost the plot from how we even got here. And so it's very problematic and very worrisome to me that it's this populist ideology amongst young people that you see these weird themes like LGBTQ supporting and indigenous supporting and being gay or whatever. And it's like, for one, that's cool. Like, I'm a live and let live person. I don't care if you're gay, if you want to butt fuck people, go do that. I don't. If you want to, man, and you want to suck a dick, suck that dick, man. You know what I'm saying? But this whole it's none of these things matter. And so when you make the basis of your life focusing on issues that are not issues and problems that aren't really problems and things that don't matter, you're like losing the plot. Like you're losing the actual substance, and you're losing focus on fixing and helping support the actual things that matter. Because all of these things I see on TikTok with people where they want to be, political science students, and we're allies of the LGBT. It's like that's great. But have you thought about the electrical grid at all? Have you thought about like how we're going to maintain all the piping and plumbing and stuff that's underneath the ground that's constantly deteriorating? Because I don't know if you know this, but like erosion destroys mountains. So what do you think is going to happen to our highways? What do you think is going to happen to our skyscrapers? What do you think is going to happen to our plumbing infrastructure in 30 to 40 years? How are you going to support these things? So it's just amazing to me that people like are so ignorant to the fact of the manipulation that is going on TikTok. And not only that, but now they are propping it up and making it seem as if they are these beacons of morality, and they're these intellectual, Einstein, super intelligent. Everyone who doesn't subscribe to their ideology is backwards and hillbilly, and in reality, they are actually the ones who've become so open-minded that their brains have fallen out, and they have actually lost a grip and lost connection with the real world. And I'm telling you, man, like, hey, we need men to step up, and we need men to have beards and to get their hands dirty and to work in the fields and do whatever it is, because that's what's gonna keep society moving. And unfortunately, we're kind of in a place though too where I can see why people want to avoid, especially men, where we want to avoid having to do these things, because our economy really doesn't um reward people for doing the jobs that are necessary. Like, I mean, do you want to be sit in an office and make sales calls all day in the air conditioning for 20 bucks an hour? Or do you want to go work out in the summer in the 100-degree heat on a highway to build it? Or, be outside on a rooftop fixing the roofing, or fixing the air conditioning on a rooftop. So, yeah, I mean, it's just the world is crazy, and I don't know where things are going to go to. And I don't know how things get better, but I mean, it's just kind of a simple matter of fact where, our economy doesn't doesn't reward adequately the people whose jobs are actually to keep society functioning. So if if a society, if a civilization stops rewarding and giving people who actually maintenance and propel society forward, if it stops giving them the ability to even provide for themselves and to like purchase houses, and then everyone starts, oh, well, I can just be an OnlyFans creator, or I can just be a digital influencer or whatever, or I can just day trade. I mean, how I think it's very problematic, and I'm doing my part, and I'm trying to, I try to do, like I said, I'm a truck driver, so I'm sitting out here and I'm trying to do my part. But man, this whole like men need to be gay movement is so nonsensical, and it's so funny to me that these people are the ones that actually think that they're like the intelligent ones, when in reality it's actually the opposite. But anyway, this has been the Base Blueprint. If you tuned in, thanks and have a great day.